Hi, everybody. Welcome to UNT Alumni Live. I am Claudia Taylor with the UNT Alumni Association. And today we are so excited to be hanging out with the one and only Woolleys Frozen Custard with owners and UNT alumni John Woolley and Brett Allen. Not only is this Fort Worth mainstay owned by two alums, but those two alums are married to two alums, and they even feature a special mean green treat on their menu. Today we'll hear how they went from a couple college kids with a dream to successful business owners, and we'll do live giveaways of some gift cards and t-shirts so you can treat yourselves to some of those incredible treats. Before we dive in, just a few reminders for you. If you're joining us on Zoom, please keep an eye on the chat section at the bottom of your screen. I'll be posting some useful links there, and you can also use that to send me your questions for John and Brett. I'll also post a link for a survey there. As always, fill that out and you'll be entered to win a UNT prize pack. If you're watching on Facebook, hello. You can leave us your questions in the comment section there, and we'll get to as many of those as we can. Now, before I hand the program over to my colleague, Casey Kolinski, let me tell you a little bit about our guests today, John Woolley and Brett Allen. John and Brett met in high school here in the Fort Worth area before together heading to UNT, where they both met their wives, worked on their career plans, and earned bachelor's degrees in the year 2000. While in college, they shared a dream to open a frozen custard shop, and after graduating and working in the corporate world for several years, they made that dream a reality by opening Woolleys Frozen Custard in 2003. Now, nearly 20 years later, they are well known throughout Fort Worth community for their community involvement, their delicious frozen treats, and of course, their mean green spirit. Brett and John, thank you so much for being here with us today. And Casey, take it away.
Thank you, Claudia. And like Claudia just said, thank you guys for joining us and allowing us to infiltrate your shop here and slow down business for just a minute, if that's okay. All right, guys. So there's obviously no better way to kick off summer than with a frozen mean green treat. So let's start there. Tell us about this mean green treat and why this is so special and how it made it onto the menu.
Well, when we opened, being proud alumni, we wanted to incorporate UNT into our business somehow. So we had some favorites that we were going to put on the board, and you know, in lieu of one of our former employees, UNT got the nod above them. So we're very proud of our school, and we proudly display it in our shop.
I love that. Thank you, guys. Okay, so if you've seen any of our Alumni Live episodes, you know that I want to start at the beginning. Let's take it back to the beginning, right? You graduated high school, you ended up at UNT, psychology, anthropology, and then now look at you running a custard shop. What happened? Tell me about this journey. It's pretty interesting. It has to be.
Well, there's not a whole lot to it, really. We just basically got out of college and got real jobs and decided that wasn't for us. So being our own boss was kind of always our dream, and we joked about it all through school and decided, you know, we're young and take a shot. So
that's it.
That's it.
That's
really.
it.
Yeah.
They did not like working for other people, so they became their own bosses. Talk about, you know, just taking control of your life. I love that. Okay, but why custard? In a world of Dairy Queens and Brahms, why custard?
Well, I grew up in Missouri where custard's pretty popular. As a little kid, I went to St. Louis quite a bit, to Ted Drew's, and kind of just always always enjoyed custard. And then when I moved to Colorado for a couple years, and then here. And once I met actually Brett at high school, I was kind of asking him, like, where's the custard? You know, there's not any. So he went with me one time to Missouri and tried it, and then we just decided from there, like, that's what Texas needs. It's the hottest place on earth. Why isn't it here?
Absolutely. So why did you choose this guy?
Well, we just had classes together and met and just kind of instantly became friends. I mean, it's...
I love it. So Brett, were you thinking this is crazy? Are we really doing this? Or did you know all along that it's going to be fine? I mean, were there any scary moments?
It was scary, yes. But I mean, it's a thing. John and I were, like you said, we were friends in high school. We were college roommates. It's not, you know, everyone always said, you know, don't go into business with a friend. It'll never work. It'll never work. It'll never work. And we were always to the mindset that, you know, we've lived together, we've gone to school together, you know, this will either make us better friends or will tear our friendship apart, which it hasn't. And it's a dynamic where we work really well together because we always kind of know each other's, you know, weaknesses and strengths. And you know, fortunately, my weaknesses are his strengths, and his strengths are my weaknesses. So it really helps us as business partners. So
I love that.
It's not scary at all. It's just it's fun. I mean, it's
a journey.
exciting.
Yeah, it's
like
a
he
journey.
said, we've got a degree from UNT, so we've always got something to fall back on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Claudia, does that sound familiar? You know, finding somebody with your strengths and your weaknesses to balance you out and build a good partnership.
That might be kind of like what we do.
Yeah, Claudia's my girl for life now. COVID has brought us so close together in developing this program, so we totally understand what you're talking about there, and I think that's super special. All right, so what sets custard apart from ice cream, frozen yogurt, sorbet, all the other things that are out on the market?
I would say basically the way it's made is the number one thing. We use an old-fashioned custard machine, so there's not any air pumped into it as it's made.
Wait, what does that mean? Air pump? Other things have air pumped into them?
Yeah, like a traditional soft serve machine pumps air into the product.
Interesting.
Frozen custard machine does not. It's also the ingredients. It has to have 2% egg yolk to be considered frozen custard.
Interesting.
And we run it fresh all day, every day, so that's the other reason. It doesn't freeze overnight and get the ice crystals like ice cream.
Nice.
So it's a real smooth and creamy product.
Super fresh. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm dying to try some in just a minute. We'll get there. We'll get there. Calm down, Casey. All right. So I'm looking at the menu behind you guys, and I don't know if you guys can see it at home, but their favorites are listed, and you've got Brett's favorite and John's favorite. And for those of you, in case you can't see it, it says Brett's favorite is
Key lime.
vanilla with key lime, and John's favorite is,
Brownie chunks with caramel mixed in vanilla.
there you go. And then there's several other names on the menu here. Mona's, Dan's, Natalie's. So who are these people, and how do you get your name on the board?
Well, those are our original employees. When we first opened, Mando was our first employee. She is actually UNT alum as well.
Yay!
And so we first started out, we let some of our employees pick some of their favorites, and then we had to kind of cap it and say no more on the board. So we always tell them, no matter how big or small we are, no matter where they are, their names will always be on the board, as long as we're open. So our new employees get really jealous because they're not on the board, and they want to be on the board, but it's not going to happen. So they are grandfathered in as originals, and sorry to the rest of them.
I love it.
And part of it is we got tired of people asking us what's your favorite, so now we can just point to the board and say there it is.
And true story, guys, if you don't know what your favorite is and you're just completely indecisive like I am, you look to them and you say, just surprise me, and they'll make something delicious. And that's exactly what Brett did for me the last time I was here. So thank you for that, Brett. He's going to be like, man, now I've got to come up with all these different concoctions. Thanks, Casey. All right, so we've gone through the menu here. I think it's really cool that you've got so many different add-ins to put into the custard to make a unique flavor for each person. One of the things that jumped out at me is this bottle of Dr. Pepper syrup behind you. So you've got Hershey's chocolate. What else do you guys have that you can blend in with this custard?
We have about 50 different toppings that we can blend in.
Oh my goodness.
And it makes the possibilities kind of endless as far as, the actual number of different, concoctions we can make. But we just wanted to offer a wide variety to people. And we always get new customers coming in and they say, hey, you ought to add this, you ought to have Fruity Pebbles, you ought to have this, you ought to have that. And so we will actually, if it's a regular customer or something like that, they ask for it several times, we've gone and bought, we have cinnamon as a normal ingredient now because people have asked for it.
Interesting.
And we had, Fruity Pebbles. We had one customer, he's like, I just want Fruity Pebbles. So we went to the store and bought it, and we kept it under it wasn't for everyone, but if he came in and wanted it, we would keep it here for him. So to any of our customers, if you want something, let us know and we'll make it happen. But at some point, a lot of toppings are kind of a headache.
Right, exactly. You guys have some really delicious pastry, or like baked goods, like brownies and cookie dough. So do you bring that in from another source, or do you make it here in-house? Tell me about that.
So I met my wife. My wife's parents own a bakery, and it's called Creative Memories. It's the sweet spot over in Alliance. And so John and I both worked there at a high school, and it was kind of an inspiration for us to want to have a small business. We saw them with it, and they never, had bosses or anything. It was like, wow, that's kind of cool. So they actually still make all our brownies, all our cookies for cookie sandwiches, and all our cakes and everything. So my wife's parents still make that fresh for us all the time. So.
Okay, and I can vouch for that bakery, guys, because I used to live over in that area, and it's legit. So come to Woolleys, and then on your way home, on your way out, stop by the Sweet Spot Bakery over in the Alliance Town Center area. It is delicious. So okay, let's see here. I'm gonna switch gears for just a second and go back to the custard and how that's made. You mentioned the machine. As far as the flavor and building your recipe for the custard, how did that come about? Is this something that you just borrowed from someone else, or is it proprietary? I can't even talk today. Proprietary to Woolleys.
It is our own recipe. We spent about a week in Escanaba, Michigan, where our machine was built, and used their machines they had set up there and kind of played around with all sorts of different mixes and vanillas that we had ordered in there until we came up with what we wanted. And then once we got what we wanted, we talked to their companies and had them label it for us, and then they'd ship it directly to us labeled. So it's kind of just Brett and I are really the only ones that know what it is exactly.
Okay, so if you wanted to order, the Woolleys custard recipe or flavorings, can anybody do that?
No, they won't sell it to anyone.
Awesome.
It's labeled just for us, and that's it. I mean, that's kind of what keeps our product unique.
Absolutely, I love that. So you guys have been here for 17 years now, is that right? Yeah.
18, yes.
None of us were really good at math. We discussed this earlier,
Right.
so bear with us for a
right.
second. So you've been here for such a long time. You have to have a strong following of loyal customers that come in and all of that. But how did you manage to survive COVID and keep this business alive and thriving? And what kind of changes did you have to make to adapt to that?
Quite a few. I mean, we had to close close all of our seating, so we were just takeout only. So we had people coming in, and we would serve them, and they had to leave. But we kind of came up with some different ideas, like doing deliveries in local neighborhoods. We offered free delivery if they ordered product.
Nice.
Set up a Google form where it was easy for them to order, and then we'd just spend the day, delivering to different neighborhoods. And we'd pick different days for different neighborhoods. So it worked out and kind of helped keep the income coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. We've all had to try and do things differently to get through this, and it's made us more resilient and tenacious, if anything. So congrats to you guys.
Thank you.
So expansion. You guys, again, business has been good to you guys. Have you talked about expanding?
Well, we have expanded in the past. We had a store on Grapevine Highway. It was actually in Hearst, Colleyville area. The state bought us out of that location, and it was the thing. We put everything in storage for a few years, and then decided, hey, we'll reopen this store to, in Alliance, kind of by my in-laws' shop. And it was owned by a real estate investment trust, and they seemed to not really care about their tenants. And it was all about the almighty dollar. They raised our rent $900 the first 2 years a month. And we just got out of it and decided. We came back. I have a 4-year-old. He has 3 kids. So it was a thing where we could spend more time with our family. It wasn't running all over town to get supplies, and trying to run 2 shops is kind of a headache. So when we came back to 1 shop, it was, this is our home, and we both get to work out of this store, which we love. Neither one of us wanted to go to the other location because it's not our home. So now we're both back home at our location, and we're just happier. We get to spend more time with our family, which is, to us, money is not near as important as family. So, and what fun is money if you can't ever have time to spend it?
Absolutely.
So it was one of the things that, we took a cut, but we're happier as a result of it, and it's just our happiness. That's why we quit the corporate world, to be happy.
Yeah.
So why work 100 hours a week if you don't have to?
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And that's such a great message for everyone to hear. Are you listening, son, over there in the audience? Okay, good. All right. Family is more important than money, guys. Don't forget. I'm looking at him. So thank you for sharing that. That's really special. All right. So tell me, how do you manage a good work-life balance then? I mean, I know you've still got to be crazy busy, right? You're still running this all the time.
Right. It is, and it's not like it was when we first opened. I mean, when we first opened, it was just Brett and I working open to close every day. I mean, for the first, I don't know, probably 6 months or 8 months. And then we started hiring people, and, it's just, you have to kind of learn the balance. I mean, we book events and do different things, and that's a lot of what we do.
Okay.
And then we have our staff that kind of runs the store for us more, so we're kind of out on the go, doing events and catering, and that's kind of what we like to do.
I love it.
And obviously helps. I mean, any sales you can get outside the store are great, so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got a question from the audience here.
Sure. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna divert here for just a second. So where does gelato fit in, and how is custard different from gelato?
Wow, that's a really good question, and one I have.
Hold that mic up real close.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer to it because I know gelato is an Italian-based ice cream, but I've never really been familiar of how it's made and what the ingredients are. I get a lot of questions about yogurt as well, and I'm a custard guy, and I really don't know a whole lot about yogurt. I don't know a whole lot about gelato either. I know it's kind of a soft serve. I've seen it, not a big. It's not really been in my world, so I really don't know much about it. Do you know much?
What he's saying is we don't go out for ice cream much.
Why would you?
Right.
Oh my gosh, look at this place. This is fantastic. Okay, so one of the other things that I really love about your shop here is that if you walk in the front doors, you immediately notice, and Sam, I don't know if you can pan over to the wall here, and if you guys want to walk over there and talk to our audience a little
Sure.
bit about the photos that you have on the wall and the story behind these pictures. Guys, they're really faded, and you can tell they've been there for quite a while, but I see, even from far away, we've got 2013, 2010, Wrigley Field, 06. So what's going on here? Who are these people?
Well, this kind of started out,
Get out your way.
Brett and I from a previous job got this idea of just having people when they go on vacation take a shirt and wear it somewhere and take a picture and bring it in. We kind of started doing it ourselves and hanging them up on the wall, and then the customers just kind of took off with it, and the next thing we know, we're getting emails with pictures, or people are coming in to bring their picture, and we started putting them up on the wall. And it started out with just a small bulletin board, and then we've obviously expanded it, and it's even outside of what we've expanded it now. So it's just kind of a fun idea, and it took off, and so it's been cool to see our Woolleys shirts all around the world.
Speaking of all around the world, I believe that there's a really unique special photo that isn't on this wall, but is on another wall in this dining room space here. So let's make our way over there, and I
Okay.
want you to talk about this because this is
Sure.
really neat. Sam had no idea she was going to be moving around this much. I'm sorry.
We told her we were going to stay still, and then we started moving.
Just so you guys know, we have a wonderful UNT student here working the camera for us today, and she's doing a great job, and we're really grateful to have you, Sam. So thank you.
All right, so I guess in 2009 we got a call from our girl that was working at the shop. We were selling at schools that day, and she said, "Hey, CNN wants to talk to y'all." And we were both like, "Oh, why? What did we do wrong?" Well, so it came out that this story had come out that we had no idea about it. This was on the front page of the New York Times newspaper, and it was a soldier in Afghanistan who had woken up in the middle of the night, and he didn't have time to put his clothes on for a firefight. So this is a gentleman right here. His name is Zach Boyd. He went to Keller Central High School, and he actually got out of bed and was wearing a Woolleys shirt and "I love New York boxers." So he didn't have time to put on his gear, and so this picture was from the New York Times, and so this is his actual shirt. When he came back, he gave us his shirt, and you can still see the sweat marks from his pack on the shirt itself, and he autographed it for us. But this was Restrepo is in Afghanistan. There's actually a Netflix special about Restrepo. But this gentleman, he gave it, he told his story, and he actually came in to give us a shirt. We obviously gave him a new one, and we also gave him a card. He gets free custard for life. We gave him a laminated card, so for the rest of his life, he gets free custard for wearing a Woolleys shirt, protecting our country here. So
That is so special, and I cannot imagine what you must have been thinking and feeling when you heard CNN was on the phone for you. And I mean, my goodness, what have you done? This is really special. So I just love this. This is really unique. So where would you like to see a Woolleys shirt go next? Where have Woolleys shirts not been worn?
oh my.
Outer space. space.
All right. All right. Do we have any astronauts watching?
That's right.
We need a Woolleys shirt out in outer space. All right. Well, I tell you what, let's take you guys back around the counter here, and that way you can kind of show us a little bit about building the ice cream, or not the ice cream, pardon me, the custard, and some of the options that you have available. And while you're getting back there, I guess I'll also bring up that you guys have done a lot here in the community. You've kind of been a staple here for the last, 17 years, obviously. So tell me a little bit about getting involved with the community here.
Well, from the start, we always wanted our business to be involved in the community, so we had to come up with an idea of how are we going to do that. So with our wives both being in education, they were both teachers at the time, we thought, schools, what a great way to get involved. So we started thinking of ideas and came up with an idea of actually selling custard at the schools as a fundraiser.
I love that.
So that we started off with just a few schools, and pre-COVID we were, I think, at about 19 schools a week that we were selling at.
Wow.
Plus, all the carnivals and different things that we do, extracurricular events.
That's fantastic.
And so basically it's in a way we can raise money for the schools. It's on average probably like $15,000 a year that we give back to the local schools.
That's fantastic. And the world needs more people like you to give back to our educational system. So thank you guys for that. That is really remarkable.
Yep.
And again, I'm no math major, but $15,000 a year over 17 years, 18 years is a lot of money, right? That is a lot of money. That is fantastic. And I'm sure you make your not only the students that you employ here really proud, but also your children. And what a great example. So thank you. Y'all are doing a great job.
Thanks.
Well, the funniest thing about that is that it's hard for us to go out together, and we'll go out, go have dinner after work, and still be in our Woolleys gear, and our waitress or waiter will say, "Hey, Woolleys, I had that when I was in high school," or I was on the phone with someone for my mortgage, and he said something. Woolleys came up, and he's like, "Oh, I went to Central High School or Foster Ridge High School, and I had it. Oh, I love Woolleys." And so everyone recognizes us from their high school, and I always ask them, like, "When did you graduate?" And when they say like 2006 or 7, it'll make you feel really old, sometimes. But it's pretty neat.
That is cool.
Woolleys has become a household name with a lot of the high school kids, and you can't buy advertising like that,
So if you were delivering custard to 19 schools, I know there aren't 19 schools, high schools, if anything, in Keller ISD. So where else are you delivering to?
We do all of Northwest ISD schools. There's 3 there. We do Eagle Mountain and Saginaw High Schools. There's 3 there. We do all of Birdville High School, all of Keller High School.
Wow.
So there's four schools in Keller and then 3 in Birdville. So
That's fantastic.
some schools we hit twice a week. So
Right on. Very cool. All right. So people are asking, walk us through. What's your favorite? Build your favorite. Tell us why it's your favorite and what you like about it. And would you be willing to build a custard concoction for us?
Sure, absolutely.
Russ like, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Let's do this.
So my favorite is key lime. I've kind of changed to where key lime is just kind of a little tame on its own. So I either add graham crackers or cheesecake, because the cheesecake has some graham cracker crumbs already in it. So the key lime cheesecake is really good. The key lime with the graham crackers is really good because it kind of gives you the crust to the key lime pie.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy to make y'all one.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Well, John's gonna narrate, give us a play-by-play.
All of our custard, we start off with vanilla, chocolate, or we also have a flavor of the week that we change out each week. So basically you start with one of those 3 flavors, and then we can add in any of the toppings to kind of make it whatever flavor you like.
So what is the flavor of the week this week?
It's Georgia Peach this week. It actually ends tonight at 10 o'clock, so you got to be here quick if you're going to get that one.
Oh, guys,
Tomorrow starts pistachio.
Oh, I love pistachio. All right, so I'm just going to stay in Fort Worth.
I'm going to do graham crackers.
All right, so he said he's putting cheesecake in there too?
He's going to do graham crackers, I think.
Oh, wow.
Key lime graham crackers.
That sounds delicious. Delicious. This machine is huge. How much custard do you produce in?
We can produce about 4 gallons an hour if we really were running it, to try and catch up. But we normally run about 2 to 3 gallons at a time.
Okay.
And then scoop on that until we run low, and then run fresh again.
Okay.
That way it's always
I'll
fresh.
do cheesecake for you.
Yes, he's making cheesecake. I love it. Oh, this looks so good.
So then we just take it over here to the blender and blend it together.
Okay. So guys, this is really kind of like some of those other ice cream stores you may have visited before where they blend in some toppings to make it even more delicious and customized to your taste. And that's exactly what Brett's doing right now for us. Okay, so when you were in college, what was your favorite ice cream place up there?
I didn't really go to ice cream places in college.
Oh, okay. What kind of places did you go?
Was a great place.
I knew
I
it
hung
was
out a lot there. That was one of my favorites.
I can respect that and
Yeah.
appreciate that. I mean, I know what you're talking about. That's fantastic. So, did you hang out more? Where? Okay, the State Club. Bear with me. It's been a minute.
Do you know where Rick's used to be?
Yeah.
Right
It was
there.
It was next door on that little strip. So Flying Saucer, the
Flying Tomato or
Flying
whatever.
Tomato was over here, and it was like that little strip and right across from the art building.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. You know exactly. Yeah.
It's completely different now.
Is it the garage now? Is that what it is? The garage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So show the people here
There you go.
what you have. Daniel doesn't know it, but I'm about to call him on camera to try this for me. All right, Daniel. Let the audience know. Oh, wait, here. We had a script. You wouldn't believe this, would you? I mean, I'm all over the place.
No surprise, it's absolutely delicious. And I don't know if you can see, but it is green with the key lime. So got a little mean green pride here as well.
Yes, perfect. Thank you for taking one for the team there.
Go mean green.
right?
All right. So tell the audience what exactly goes into your mean green treat here.
Well, the mean green we came up with, we were trying to find something green, obviously.
Yeah.
So the mint syrup is what we decided on, and then some of our employees helped us. We ended up doing Oreos and mint. So we start with vanilla and blend it in with mint and Oreos. We've had some people that like it in chocolate, so we
Nice.
can make it whichever way.
I love
and
it.
We've served it at UNT a few times.
Did you hear that, guys? When are you coming back? When
I know, we need to set that up.
We do.
Yeah.
Maybe at the Alumni Pavilion. Who knows? Come see us at the football games 2 hours before kickoff, and maybe you can try some Woolleys frozen custard there. Who knows? All right. So, all right. Talk to me a little bit about how your education has helped with your success here. Your education at UNT and how that's played into your success as a business owner.
Well, we always joke that I'm an anthropology major. He's a psychology major. So, you know, all of our employees are humans, right?
Yeah.
So anthropology goes in there, right? And then the psychology of all our employees. I was a psychology minor in college,
Also
so
different personalities.
so yeah,
Yeah.
we can kind of it's one of those things that I think more than anything, education it helps you prepare for life, you know, after school. But you know, I don't know that anthropology classes help, but I think that the core curriculum actually, you know, is what's helped us. I wish I would have been better in math classes, but I wasn't that good in math classes.
Me
so.
too. That's all right. We have our strengths, right? What about you, John?
I think college just kind of helped me a lot about getting something finished. Kind of like opening a business. I mean, once you start with your business plan, you know, you have to continue until you're actually open, and it's a never-ending thing. And college can be that way too sometimes if you're not careful.
Absolutely.
But you know, just I don't know, having the structure and learning definitely helps you later in life.
Absolutely. So you've got 3 children. You've got 1. Is that right?
Yes.
Are you teaching them the mean green ways already?
Yes.
All right.
Indirectly. I mean, I don't necessarily.
Right.
You know,
Well, you got to be very
tell them that
subtle
they're
as a
going
parent,
there, but,
right?
You know, we go to football games and do all the fun stuff, so hopefully that will end up happening.
That's right. We would love to have that legacy continue on at UNT. All right. So, man, what have we not covered? I feel like we've talked about a lot of really great things. Claudia, do we have any more questions from the audience or any?
We didn't. I don't think we heard John's favorite. We heard Brett's, but not John.
John's favorite?
Well, yeah, my favorite is vanilla with brownie chunks and caramel mixed in.
That is good. That is good. And true story, when I asked them to set me up with something and just surprise me because I couldn't make up my mind, Brett put together, was it brownie chunks and chocolate or cookie dough? I don't even remember, but it was delicious. Who needs a name for it? Just ask for Casey's favorite, right?
Yeah.
Brett's gonna kick me later.
No,
You
you're
watch.
fine. No, Brett's favorite probably would have been brownie chunks and caramel, but he got there first, and I was like,
Oh man.
We do have one more question. They want to know what if a percentage of your business is retail versus catering? Is catering, more? I mean, I'm sure that this year it's been kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I would say normally probably 30% of our business is catering. We do a lot of corporate events, and I mean, when we first started, we would do anything. People would call us and say, we have a gathering of 30 people. Do you want to come set up and sell? And we'd be like, yes, because. But over the time, we've kind of gotten to where it's normally bigger events we try and do. We've sold at football games, lots of different things.
I think you also had mentioned that you had catered one of your employees' weddings,
Yes,
and you guys have been around so long.
Yeah,
that
we've done a lot of weddings.
So we've done Main Street Arts Festival for the last, since probably 15 years or so. So
That's
that's
fantastic.
300,000 people rolling through that every year.
Wow. Keeps you busy.
It
does, yeah.
But it's great. I mean, it's a Fort Worth event, and we're a Fort Worth business, so we love doing it. So
That's fantastic. Well, guys, we could not be more proud of you and what you have built here and the success that you've seen over the last almost 2 decades, right? I mean, I hope there's many more decades ahead of you, and I hope that Woolleys sticks around and the kids carry it on. And we are constantly cheering you on and rooting you on, and we hope to see you back up on campus and get you plugged in, maybe at the Alumni Pavilion and selling some Woolleys both there. So, guys, if you are in the North Fort Worth area, I want to encourage you, please stop by and visit John and Brett, and let's support our Mean Green alumni as they continue to give back and support our schools and different programs. So, Claudia, with that being said, I think you've got some door prizes, or not door prizes, but some giveaways.
I do. I'm extremely excited. So here we go. We're going to announce the winners. So each winner today is going to get a $25 Woolleys gift card and a t-shirt. Very excited.
Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but Brett's holding up her t-shirt here. All right.
Which you can wear to you can wear it to the Vatican or Australia or wherever you go.
Outer space.
Outer space. Okay, so our first winner, and I love him because he asked several questions, is Mitch Monis. Congratulations. Our second winner is Gabby Ibarra.
Gabby!
Yay! Our third winner is Chris, and I'm going to mangle your last name, Janvier.
Yay!
And our last winner is Sandra Burks.
Yay!
Thank you so much for being here, and I'll get in touch with all of you to get your information and get your prizes to you. Yeah, so thank you, John and Brett, for being here. This was so much fun. I loved seeing your Mean Green spirit on show. It was awesome.
And for the record, I just want everyone to know that they not only donated the t-shirts, but they also donated the gift cards to this program as well. So thank you guys for your generous donations there. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Go Mean Green.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching today, everyone.